porn load's fine.
Your
And
speeds
you're
are
like,
fine.
no.
Single
Where our stories
integrity,
diverge is
fine.
I just canceled the appointment. So like I don't need someone to come out here and say, yeah, it works fine.
I do though.
$50.
No, because they charge
Right.
you.
It's
Well,
better
this
than-
guy, I was lucky. This
Oh.
tech, because I just paid my Comcast bill for last month.
That's nice of you.
This tech was a nice dude, and he didn't charge. He said that he did service while I was here, so he didn't charge me on.
Did you
on
service him?
And by the way, I have the same thing. I got a 3-year promo because they installed AT&T fiber.
And that's where this all comes to, because you know what they started installing literally yesterday? AT&T fiber in my fucking apartment.
When I move in there, I'm getting AT&T fiber.
Nah,
They
right.
got ahead of that stuff with those 3-year deals.
Yep, and they've got me locked into a 3-year deal now, so I'm just gonna have to take 1.5 years
You're
and
gonna
pay
have
at
to
a high
eat it because
high
the-
rate.
Yeah, the buyout's like
Mm-hmm.
something
Like
crazy.
when Jim did
It's
the
half a
memory.
it's
It's like half the contract.
yeah it's a dollar amount plus half the remaining value of the contract.
Which
Yep,
is a lot of money.
that's a fuck ton of money.
Welcome, nerds. We are a bunch of jerks.
And fuck
This
Comcast.
is our input, episode 12.
We did not clap. Oh, it doesn't
There's
matter.
no.
Yeah.
The irony!
Oh,
There is no screen! Sorry, no screen. Our camera did not work.
no. We'll just overlay a picture of Hitler Jesus.
Oh yeah, draw a
Okay.
picture. Draw 2 pictures.
You'll
one
see a
for-
picture. We
for-
won't.
Nice.
One for Circle Lee Jerk, and then one for this.
Don't tell her
Whatever
like you own her and you can tell her what to do.
Oh, please.
There it is.
What
Yeah.
if I use like the same picture, but I give you guys mustaches?
Fuck
like,
yeah, perfect.
for
Perfect.
Are they sexy
I'm
mustaches?
so happy with it. No,
Yeah, if you want.
I want
Yeah,
him.
if
I
you
want
want.
him.
You have to request sexy,
I want-
dumbass.
yeah, I
well,
want
that's
him
all
to-
presenting to the PC Master Race, Mr. Johnny.
Alright.
Give him a
That's
big,
it.
thick brute.
And
like
that
a
is the
Florburn
comedic Canadian champion, Mr. Chris.
Nice.
champion. Look at the.
They can't see it, remember? The lack of vid.
By
He
the
just
way,
slapped
by
his
the
ass.
way, lost 7 pounds
Where'd it go?
Nice.
away, and the muscle mass is up. The knee is starting to feel better every day. Gotta
How
work out.
fast does the pain is up now with losing the weight?
What?
Quicker?
Did you lose it there first?
No. There's no fat on my penis. I don't. I feel like everybody knows that you don't store fat on
say
your
that.
penis.
Yeah, seriously. Go get tested by a doctor and tell me
We
that
have
there's no fat
the
on your
Mr.
penis.
Newcomer, another special guest, Mr. John.
John the Don.
I'm just saying I
Well,
don't
yeah.
have a fat penis.
Hello.
You need to
I'm
tell them as
thick
well in
penis,
case they
not
only
fat
watch
penis.
Output
Ah.
who you are and why you're here.
I am a friend of the pod, right?
Yeah,
Friend of the
well,
podcast.
the most thing that I'm going to let people know about,
To you.
the human that came up with the name of this podcast is in this room, and it's not me.
That's true.
John came up with the name.
Really?
I named you guys.
He did.
Aw.
We had
Hey, Dad.
we were
Thanks.
going between a few different ones, and he's like,
You have 3 kids now.
"How about a bunch of jerks?" And then we just started laughing, and we're like, "That's literally perfect." And then we ran with it and added the A and lowercased it.
That's right. True story.
But
Nice.
he technically owns all of this.
Well,
That's how trademarks work.
That's right.
I say we light him on fire.
I'm ready to sign it over.
I'm ready to sign at any moment this fucking sinking
Yeah,
shit.
just where do I go? You can have it.
But yeah, so he, if you were to go back on some of our old things,
Which are still up.
you could actually find a couple episodes with John included. So
Yeah,
Chris was
that's-
there.
That's old
This
stuff.
is ancient though.
Yep. Many a year before children were in the
That's right.
mix. So
Before Johnny.
God,
True
before
story.
children are
I
in the mix.
was getting ready to leave, come meet with you guys, and stand by my
85 is
wife.
closed.
And she said, "So, like, what are you gonna do?" I said, "Oh, we're gonna go hang out with Brooks. We're gonna be,
Remember him?
yeah."
Oh, that fuck? Yeah.
I said, "Well, they've got a podcast, and I'm gonna be a guest on it." She said, "Oh, okay." So, like, on iTunes, yeah, and it's like a real deal. It's the real thing. You can get it there.
It's real.
She goes,
People can say that's real now.
Yeah.
Yes, it is real.
It's pretty exciting. I paid
"Well,
for
what's
it.
it called?"
Don't worry about it. Tell her don't worry about it.
So I said, it's called A Bunch of Jerks. And she goes, "Oh, well then you're a pretty good guest to have."
So we made the right call.
So,
Hire and develop the best.
Nice.
I already love, man. Screw everything
Oh,
you've
man.
ever said about married life, man. I love your wife already.
She is
She's
delightful.
great.
Her friends are crazy, but she is delightful.
I no longer had the heart to tell her that I
Right.
Yeah, dude. And she'd be, oh, that fucking makes sense.
There's
Titular.
like a 20% chance she'll listen to this. So if
Oh,
she
nice.
does,
Dog.
then she'll know.
Shout out to your wife,
Your wife.
Ms. John,
That's right.
Mrs. John.
2-time baby mama.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
Winner, chick and dinners.
The shot conversion ratio is high.
Show of hands, who here has seen a birth?
Oh.
Show-
Only Johnny raised his hand. This is a heads up.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Not in person. Fuck.
What do you look forward to in the sequel?
Oh,
The tax break.
Better character development. You want to see
The Michael Bay explosions.
better fireworks.
Gonna be a pretty sweet lens flare.
See, because what my mom told me is like, she goes, Johnny, because I'm the oldest, you're the experiment. So whatever doesn't work out for you, your brother and sister got it.
That makes complete sense.
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, thanks, mom. And now they're probably
Love
gonna be
you.
more successful than me. Let's face it.
Yeah, that coin, there's two sides of that, because on the one hand, you, as the older child, you get more scrutiny because they're trying. And they're
then the
done
next
trying.
two- yeah,
There's
by,
like, it'll be fine.
by my brother, they're like, oh, there's just.
But then the flip
fucking-
side of that coin is that you also get more
I'm
like,
pretty
love
sure.
and adoration.
I'm pretty sure I'd
Yeah.
been like this is my second year of university. My mom walked in the room and she's like, "You still going to school?" And I was like, "Yeah."
She's
Why?
not even
I was,
sure.
I was like, I
Yeah.
literally just got home. Oh. Just
All right.
went upstairs. Yeah.
Do the laundry.
Your question is like, well, what is that going to cost me?
Yeah,
that's fine.
They
And
just
then
heard a number.
It's the loans are under your name, right? I was like, well, yeah, we did the paperwork
Oh, yeah,
together.
knock yourself out.
Oh.
Go town.
Just make sure you finish, I guess.
Or
Just-
don't, whatever.
Yeah, one time for my
Sure might.
birthday, they actually like that weekend they just went out of town without me.
Home
And
Alone.
then they just
This is your birthday gift. You're alone.
That is like
Yeah.
every parent's fantasy that they won't tell you about.
It's just
Just-
leave.
thing is, I took my brother and my
What if
sister.
I
and
just
was
like went
wow.
to the mall by myself and I just didn't tell
Didn't come
anyone
back.
where I was going?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the fancy portion of this is that they pretend like they're never coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the conversation you and I were having when it first happened, baby one, and you're like, I can't just go take a shower. And I was like,
It's like
ah.
it's all the things that are hard are things that you were never gonna be on your radar, and then all the stuff that everyone says is hard. It's like not a big deal. Like I lock eyes with a small person every time I take a shit. Like you know, as the loaf is pinching, there's someone looking right in my eyes.
Daddy, how's it going?
And
Daddy, how's it going?
It's a thing you don't get used to.
Hey.
It's never gonna change.
No,
It's always gonna be there's a person looking at me while I shit.
but it's like you have to because if you're not, if I'm in there doing it by myself, she's
Dying.
sticking
Doing
fingers
something.
in a socket or
Right.
whatever.
She goes. She's basically out to kill herself.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, they are like
Where are the
masters
corners?
of
Suicide.
destroying stuff.
Oh.
It's unbelievable.
A friend of mine coworker of mine made an argument today that having a kid is about the full extent. Do you agree that having one kid was relative once they got old enough, relatively easy to manage? Just having one.
Well, if that's the
Manipulate?
case, we're not there yet. Sucking is not born, so
Yeah.
I can't speak to how that will change. But
Yeah. How old is your first?
she'll be 2 years old in a few weeks.
Okay,
So
so,
in about-
she's still early in the
about
process.
Yeah, so
400
undeveloped.
episodes later, we'll get the sequel of this conversation.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun when, the first time she's able to say, "You're embarrassing."
Right.
Oh, don't you look forward to that? Like that's the only thing. There's a couple things about having a kid that actually could sell me on the idea of having kids, and one of them is like the day they're
Tax
about to go
break.
to high school. I have a full beard, and I'm like, guess what? I have a surprise for you. I'm going to shave all my beard off, except for my mustache, and I'm going to do nothing but embarrass you as long as you're in high school.
And
so
you
just
ain't
know
doing
that.
nobody.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna embarrass
Ah.
any chance I get. It's gonna be like, Dad can dance too.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like,
man.
there's
good stuff.
And then they flip it around on you, and they're like, my earliest memory is looking at you while you're shitting. I remember one time I just came online and you were on the pod.
Yeah.
My first memory.
Dad, my first
It's
full
in the
memory.
Do you guys remember like the first like cohesive thought that you had?
Fuck, man.
No.
I've had too many head
No?
injuries.
That's an interesting.
I remember it very clearly, and it's
Yeah.
very
Boobs.
rude. Maddie loves it though. So when I came online, I was like a child, and I remember I just.
What was your
finished,
username?
Probably like Monkey Man or something. But I just finished reading like my first chapter book or whatever. I read really early, and then.
So yeah, can you give me an approximate age range?
13. Uno, I was like. 4 or
Uno?
5.
I heard it too, his fan.
At the first grade, or by the time I hit second grade, I was reading on a college
7.
level.
Okay.
So I was already like
What
pretty
college?
proficient.
Depends on the college. Could be
Cornell.
just West Georgia compared to
Cornell.
No, but I remember looking at my mom and just thinking, I'm so much smarter than you right now.
At
And that's it.
7.
Oh, jeez.
No, it wasn't 7. It was
Fuck
I was
you.
younger.
Oh my god.
Second grade.
Yeah.
That's 7.
Intense.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's true. That's one of
Or
my first thoughts.
6, 7, 8.
And then I shut off for like another like 6 months, and then my other memory is like I spilled the drink, and my dad got pissed at me, and I think he
Not
made me
smart
feel-
enough, are you, boy?
Yeah, he made me feel so bad.
Now
that
that
I-
you're at the college level.
Oh.
Get
Definitely
your
don't
ass
remember.
whipped
Exactly.
at the college level.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
All of my memories are tied to like severe injury, like second grade getting that scar right there from a hot glue gun when someone
Nobody can
passed.
see the scar.
Well, I'm pointing.
Describe it. It's in between his buttocks, above the
No.
anus.
It's in between my thumb and index finger, and somebody was hot gluing something, and they passed the
Your
hot
finger.
the
What grade?
hot glue
How old
gun.
Again.
It was second grade.
7.
Why are second graders have a hot glue gun?
That's a good question.
They're doing arts and
Because they were
crafts
busy
Anyway.
at
running with
college
scissors.
level.
and it wasn't like nowadays where the hot glue guns they have.
You
They
guys
have
were
ones where
not
the
hot gluing at a college level.
no, we weren't.
I made that joke first.
Oh, nobody heard it because you suck.
Yeah.
But
Get over that wall, Johnny.
so there was that one where I had to go to the hospital because I had hot glue on my goddamn hand and left a scar. Then
What were you gluing?
a toy car.
Mm.
We were fixing a toy car, and I was a mechanic and I got burned.
Sounds like you're in a
And then off to
Nike
use
school.
Johnny terminology, I went back offline, and then I remember going back online for space camp, the best year of my life.
Dude, oh my god, you're making it rush back. I just had this memory a couple days ago.
Did you go to space
I
camp?
did go to space camp.
What
Fuck
the fuck
yeah.
is space camp?
It was just this thing where
Did you go to space
that
camp?
cost money. Of course, I didn't go
No,
to
it was-
space camp.
it was free because
Yeah.
I
Like
was
if my
like,
mom would take a
Oh.
box outside and
Yeah.
say, "You're in space."
You dumb bitch.
shit. No, I was like in Chicago. I was like
Chicago.
in the smart class, so we got to do cool things for free.
Sweet.
And one of the things was space camp, and then so I remember we were sitting at desks, and this kid, like, you know how parents say never lean back in your chairs.
Yeah.
He was leaning back, and I was like, this
Like a
kid's
boss.
pretty cool. And then he went back. He went back too
Thank
far,
you.
and the back of his neck hit like the front of my desk, but like right there, and it was like a water balloon.
And you
of
went to sleep.
blood.
No.
And it traumatized. I was like,
No.
what?
You
the
were like,
fuck?
oh my god, they were right.
Yeah. I
You will literally bust your head open.
Dude,
This is space camp.
Oh my god.
dude, literally, like
Blood
everybody
was
was like,
floating everywhere into
everybody
gravity.
saw the kid, and the kid was like unconscious or whatever. And
Of
then they
course.
looked at me, and I was like,
I
they were
didn't
more
know.
worried about me because I just had
Because he was
like
covered in blood.
And then somebody's like, what did you do to him?
Ay, Dios mío.
And
You're
then
like,
the
I
kid
can't-
sat up and said, and that's why you leave a note.
yeah. Fucking arrested development.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bum. Cuts
Yeah.
off. Offline.
Yeah, my ass went to space camp. I'm surprised you don't know about it.
Space.
Space camp, and the only reason why I did go is because my parents sent me in the off season, so not for summer camp, but during fall. That's the only way they could afford it, and I had to get
Off-season?
special, yeah, because basically
Space
it's a
season.
What's your favorite
It's a
space
summer-
season?
it's a summer
What are the
camp.
options?
It's a summer camp built around like NASA and stuff like that. So they sent me during fall when there was no other kids.
Where's it
there.
located?
They have a couple different locations. They have Huntsville, Alabama. They have
NASA.
Houston, Texas, and then they have
My family has been there to Huntsville.
and then they also have one in Florida. And it was like a lifelong dream of mine to go.
So
to
this
space camp.
definitely wasn't Canadians then. Thank you.
No, this was in Alabama. and
Sad.
and here's
You know where else it wasn't? You know where else there's no space camp?
West Virginia,
That's
definitely
right.
look at West for
Yeah,
goddamn.
You're close enough, boy.
Welcome to
Get
coal
back to the
camp.
mine.
I mean, I can see the stars at night. That's what I mean.
Through the smoke.
But it's like a whole thing where it's like you pretend that you're training for NASA. I operated a robot arm.
We had such
it was-
different childhoods.
Dude, it was
Stick and rock.
it was the kind of thing where it's like
Throw stick and rock at friend.
my parents were like, "Oh, he
Go
really."
inside,
They,
'cause
they honestly were pitching me at a young age. You're gonna be an astronaut, like
Oh,
because
shit.
You're almost there if you think about it. You've got the majority of it down.
so like
After
ever
Sage,
since
just go to
apparently
SpaceX.
yeah no right. So
Easy
basically, like,
vertical move.
Since we
Shout-
were so
shout out
close
to
to
Elon
Melbourne,
Musk.
Florida, or since we were so close to Cape Canaveral, we always saw the shuttle launches. And since I was like
Aw,
a toddler, I
that's
was
cool.
like, "This is awesome!"
I've never seen a shuttle
Which
launch.
ties it back to one of your other.
You never
injuries
will now.
When Discovery
Yeah.
exploded.
You
You got
Well,
hit by
I mean, I
missile.
can see missile launches. Apparently, that's
Yeah,
pretty much
but-
happening.
Yeah, but it's different than a shuttle
Shout
launch.
out to
That's for sure.
Syria.
But basically, they knew it was something that I really cared
Fucking
about.
Syria.
Why? That just is all American.
Now I hate everyone.
Just you know, all English speaking.
Yeah, we're fair here.
So they
Shout
said
out to Assad.
my homie.
Oh yeah.
But they sent me to space camp because they knew I loved it so much. And the 3 memories that I have, like I have a bunch of memories from like our shuttle mission that we did. I rolled my ankle, and that's why I have a bad
Done-
ankle to
done
this
that.
day because I rolled it so bad and it inflated.
Done
but I
that.
didn't want to go home early because I was in goddamn space camp. The culmination of my life at that point. I was not going home, so I put on double socks, pretend
E.T.
like I
did
didn't
not
hurt my
phone
ankle.
home.
Oh man, it was. That sucker
Space
was-
joke.
And then the third memory that I have.
Boo!
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel about most of your jokes. But
Maddie would have laughed at that. She laughs at my bad ones.
And then the third memory that I have
pay
from
her,
space
though,
camp was, get this,
Literally.
the day that I got picked up was the day that Chris Farley died. And it
Oh.
made me really sad because I had
look what you did, Chris.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
He was
gosh,
like a
you
com-
killed Chris Farley.
he was like a comedic hero for me.
Imagine how different things would have been if you didn't roll your
Yeah.
fucking ankle.
I know, right?
God damn it, Chris.
Maybe
Why'd
he
you go
wouldn't
to
have done
space
that
camp?
speedball.
Oh, you jerk! You should have went home.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so
Well, actually, this is a great transition.
Into
I want to know because John and I we talk about.
I'll
the
be the judge
comedies.
as to whether or not
We
this
talk
is a
about
good
the
transition or
comedies
not.
all the time. I would like to know everyone's Mount Rushmore of comics.
Oh, easy.
Ooh.
Easy.
Oof, I got it. Dimitri Martin, number 1. Very
Okay.
funny. Very
Number 1, he's
cerebral.
the first man on your list.
He is George Washington on
Correct.
your
Huh.
Mount
Well,
Rushmore.
that AT&T commercial or whatever is pretty good.
Okay.
I know you said that you're not going to come back on the podcast for a while, but part of me really does enjoy this.
Yeah, we miss him.
You just keep slamming the table.
Sad.
That's
Well,
okay.
that's one.
Number 2, Louis C.K.
George Washington.
Yeah.
Number 2, Louis C.K. I like
Sure.
that.
Louis.
To be honest, though, they're like on par with each other. I just have to. Because Dimitri Martin makes
Mount
me laugh.
Rushmore is
and
in no
think.
particular order.
Yeah, it's fine. But Louis
Well,
relevant.
Abraham Lincoln's facing the wrong way, so.
True.
I guess.
Well, he freed some of them.
What? What?
What were you saying?
What are you gonna do?
Chris.
Trying to get really trying to get PewDiePie at this point.
Then, it's
You have to
fine.
be popular to get
All right.
PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Dimitri and Louis C.K.
Louis.
CK. Probably. I love. Fuck, I can't think of his name right now. British, very funny,
Handsome.
handsome, office guy. What's his name?
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
Okay.
I
Stand
cannot
up?
remember for the one. Yes, I
Okay.
like stand up.
Yeah, his stand-up
Cool,
is
cool,
rock
cool, cool.
His
solid.
stand up's good.
Yeah.
And
Handsome. All right.
then, well, he's got a fat girlish face.
That's where you had me thrown off.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about
A
a
real
couple different comedians,
banger.
yeah, I was like Steve Coogan. I was like, and then he said handsome. I was like,
Just starting to
"Ugh."
think of
well,
hot,
obviously not
handsome
Ricky
Wayne.
Gervais.
He's handsome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd put it in him.
I mean, he's a,
Anyways,
last one has gotta be.
Caterpie?
No, not Caterpie.
Oh. Weedle.
Dude that makes Seinfeld. What's his name? Larry David.
thank you, Larry
I was
David.
gonna say, are you talking
I
about
was about
Jerry
to say
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
Who's the guy
He was
on
on
that
fucking
Seinfeld show?
Seinfeld, yeah.
I was about to go Curb Your Enthusiasm and
name
just yelled
escaped.
at
That was-
repeatedly.
I was gonna say Curb
Friends?
Your
No,
David.
that's not it.
Friends. How I Met Your
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Okay, so that's your. All right, so give me some of the reasons why those dudes are guaranteed. You're
Dimitri
for.
Martin, Louis C.K. first and foremost, because Dimitri Martin does this more. It's super cerebral. Like
He is the most cerebral.
He has jokes that
Even
are
Bo.
like just.
Bo's just more musical.
He is very musical. So
Burnham, sorry.
Dimitri Martin is
I know
very
by first
musical
name
as
basis.
well.
Stop interrupting him.
I'll allow it.
The way he looks at things is just super different, and it's a way that I wish I could do it.
Totally
And
agree.
that sometimes he'll say things, and it completely transforms my way of looking at it. Not only that, but he had the Dimitri Martin show.
Mm.
The way it was written was completely chaotic.
It was
However,
unique.
it was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Totally.
Just good.
That's the
totally.
reason why lately I've been stuck on Eric Andre. I know it's weird.
Oh, he's funny though.
He has such a way of creating this chaos that I just love.
Totally agree.
Louis C.K., his stand-up's great. You
Yep.
know, he makes plenty of shit jokes. However, that dude knows how to write.
Yep.
Like,
Mhm.
seriously, I love it. And then who was my number 3? I forgot. Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
He's really funny. I find British dudes very, very funny. I don't know why, I just do. And he
Because
can
they're
write.
dry.
They're very dry. They're just like fucking
Honest.
cunt, and then that's
Yeah,
it.
that comedy style, British comedy in general, just God, it hits that spot with me where I'm like, good.
Yeah, it's not like and then I shout something and everybody laughs. No, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
someone just died on the street and okay, you know, I walk by that every morning. And then lastly, Larry David, just dude, that's old. I can watch Curb Your Enthusiasm and Seinfeld all fucking day. Like they're about nothing yet I'm so entertained. You know, like halfway through an episode I forget what the first 10 minutes was about.
Yep.
Just because they go so off kilter and it's just great.
Solid.
Mhm.
Chris, what you got?
All right, so I would have put Louis C.K. on there, but I'm not gonna do any redundancies. So, number one,
Ooh, new rule added. Without permission.
Ian.
Go
Hi.
ahead.
I believe you can suck a dick.
You'd be
What's that
surprised.
directed
All right, number one, and it's not even close.
Go ahead.
Number
Well,
one,
this is news to me.
at? Chris Farley.
no, number one, and it's
Because I
not even
killed him.
close. Wow.
Ultimate punchline.
Punch.
The ultimate punchline, murder. But it's not even close. Number one is Robin Williams by far, and it's like I said, not even fucking close. That guy honestly was an idol for me
Does it
for
all.
a large portion
Stand
of my
up.
life.
Acting, he hits it on every level, and he can actually act too, which is creepy. When he starts acting, you're like, whoa, calm down.
1 hour photo. Watch that and say that he did a bad acting job in that. He's creepy as
So
hell in that
creepy.
movie.
Yeah.
He's
I
perfect.
was
Yeah, it's
not ready for that.
yeah,
'Cause,
it's
like,
unsettling. A man that
when
has
I
been
finally
like,
cared about actors.
Yeah.
When I found that was Robin Williams, I was like, what
Yeah.
the
Yep.
fucking fuck?
but like if you go back and just watch, if you knew nothing of Robin Williams but stand up, the energy and the like, you're never given a break at any point. No breaks.
Yeah, you can't breathe.
No, yeah, he's trying to kill you on stage.
Right.
He's literally trying to kill the audience.
Yep.
Like that's his goal, and the fact that he just woun't stop.
Right.
And he would hold you there, because that's the thing is like nowadays it's kind of a lot of the alt comedy is about is like Zach Galifianakis, who I also love, who's on my list. A lot of that's about
That makes sense.
letting you breathe,
Set up,
and then
set up,
and just
explode.
and it's silence. It's silence, and then you just like jokes like, "Have you ever pissed in bed?" And by that I mean you're literally just standing over your bed pissing on it, and it's like stuff like that. It's like he was the antithesis of that, where it's just constantly you're never going to get a chance to breathe over the entire hour-long special. Number two.
So Zach Gal.
Yeah, I might as well go ahead. I wouldn't say he's my number two, but I'll go ahead and say Zach Galifianakis is going to be on my list. I first learned about him on a Comedy Central special. This was before his Live at the Purple Onion DVD and before all of the hangover shit.
Right.
And
I knew him before.
but seriously, like the guy.
I did not.
The guy like changed, because at that time I was still trying to do stand up, and that guy changed my idea of like you can do what you think is funny,
Right.
And
Somebody.
if you write it well, and if you timing for him, that's what he does better than almost any person is timing. He's one of the best at timing and crushes it. I actually would say Rodney Dangerfield is going to be my number 3. That's
Four.
That's solid choice.
Yeah, because it's like he's like. No, that's number 3.
Thought Zach was 3.
Hmm? No, Zach is 2.
You said he wasn't
We
your
gotta
2.
roll the tape back.
That's what I was saying.
He's not your
I
2.
went ahead and knocked him out. but
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
I'm
okay,
saying,
okay.
Alright.
yeah,
Cool,
but yes,
got it.
if I'm ranking him
Gotcha.
1 to 4,
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
Rodney Dangerfield's actually my my number 2. He is the apex predator of his time. He, like, if you wanted to encapsulate one person what it was like to do comedy in the 60s and 70s.
What was your favorite line?
Well, that's the whole thing, is that the reason why Caddyshack was so phenomenal is they let him loose. They tried to give him a script and
Right.
it didn't work, and they said, "Ronnie, go." And he just said, "Hey, everyone's gonna get laid," like stupid shit like that.
I steal most from him his no offense. That is so funny.
Yeah.
That is just a good pull. It's like
Exactly.
it's so easy, but it's like, man, that's funny.
And also,
That's
again,
just super funny.
another man who's just
No
phenomenal,
offense.
phenomenal at timing. Oh, it looks like you got that suit from a dry cleaner from 1985. No offense.
No offense.
Like, it's the way.
It's so funny. It's like, that's very offensive. That's the joke.
Yeah, God, just that's what comedy writing used to be, and not to do any disservice to the guys now. It's a different time, but man, part of me does kind of love the perfect. It's like a clockwork, right? It's like a Swiss watch. When you watch Rodney Dangerfield's old sets and you say, God damn, every piece just falls into place right at the right time and right. It's awesome. And then the last person, I have to go with Dave Chappelle. And I recently saw both of his new specials, and
phenomenal.
So fucking
and
good.
people can
So
kiss
fucking
my
good.
ass
Gold.
about the whole like
Gold.
Dave Chappelle's anti-gay. That's the whole setup of the joke. Is like, people think I'm anti-gay. It's not. It's fucking stupid. I'm
Yeah.
fine with gay people. I just think that this is funny, and that's the whole point of a comedian, is you take it and you say,
I heard Colin say something specific. If they were to hear anything that Tosh or
Oh, yeah.
Jesselnick said, they'd be blowing their minds.
yeah,
right
but
now.
because Dave
Because the
Chappelle's
stuff that they
successful,
say.
they want to
Right,
shit all over him.
Right.
Not to say that those guys aren't, but yeah, I'd say that's probably my top 4. Probably not in any particular order, because I think if you asked
Yeah.
me the same question tomorrow, I probably would have the whole
Right.
thing.
I'll allow it though. Solid group and diverse. Much appreciated. John, I'm gonna throw it to you.
All right. I don't give a shit about your rules, so I'm gonna put.
Sure.
Give me Louis back.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
have to have it.
Louis is that good.
I have
Louis
to
is
have
that
him.
good.
He's really good at drawing attention to the mundane parts of. Yeah, he gets laughs out of the setup,
Right.
as much as the punchline.
Right.
Totally agree.
Did you watch his most recent 2017?
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
His-
I did.
Man, I
Sure
could
did.
not. Well, that's his new thing. He was on Jimmy talking about it.
Yeah.
He said that
He's like I'm sick of looking like shit. Isn't that what he said?
something like that. Yeah, it was funny.
It's weird. I miss his sweat stains.
Yeah.
that get gradually worse.
What he said when he was a kid, he used to think that when you're an adult, you're supposed to wear a suit,
Right.
and it's just he's so funny.
Yeah.
he's
Because the next week he could just change that and be like, "Oh, stupid."
Yeah. So I'll go no further into that since you guys kind of.
Right. Hit the
And you
high
mentioned number 2, Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah.
I like.
He's
And
very you.
He's yeah.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of people
Things
who
won't say that-
are
yeah.
legitimately willing to say anything.
Right.
There is, nothing that's out of bounds or off limits, which I appreciate because
No,
I
there's
don't
there's
like
value
the
in that.
artificial limits
Right.
that we have
think-
sometimes.
I think we need more of it at this point.
Yes,
I think we
he's
need more of it.
the best thing when something has happened, and I haven't checked this one yet. So like when you have a major, serious thing happen in the
Serious
world,
thing.
like a
Go-
doctor getting
Nice.
dragged off of an airplane, for instance.
Oh.
Oh,
My
that was terrible.
favorite thing. My favorite thing is to go see what Jeselnik said about it on Twitter.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeselnik, Daniel Tosh.
Absolutely.
Make it happen.
Definitely. I loved his show. Nobody else did. It got canceled immediately. All of it very good. And he's, by the way, from Pittsburgh.
Nice.
So he's
Sweet.
You know, we have that sort of
Nice.
vibe as well. Number 3, I would say, in kind of a similar vein, would be George Carlin. Who
Thank God.
I
Okay, good.
had the opportunity to see live once.
Wow.
My God.
He's kind of a mix between Jeselnik and Louis insofar as he's able to poke fun of the absurdity of our lives, and our lives are very absurd.
He was the first person to take the mountain of, you can't make a rape joke.
Right.
George
yeah,
Carlin
I mean,
went,
in
okay.
a lot of ways,
Show
George
me.
Carlin
Yeah.
like trailblazed
Everywhere.
being obscene
Oh.
Mhm.
and having it be funny.
Yep.
You know, the 7 words and that whole deal.
Yeah, the whole 7-word sketch. Yep.
Because it's like, well, you can't say this stuff on TV, and you know, is in his own funny way. Ultimately, the message is, well, why not?
Yep.
Because it doesn't make sense ultimately. I saw him, I think a year or 2 before he died, and even though I had seen, you know, I had all the DVDs and I had the books.
Right.
So even though I knew a lot of the material, but it still felt like really great to see him live. And then number 4, I would say, and it's probably recency effect, so it might not be there long term, but number 4, I would say Neil Brennan.
Neil. Spell show.
That is,
Yeah.
that is his.
He made the Spell show.
I know.
Yeah.
That is
But
his claim
stop.
to fame. Yeah.
It's funny because Chappelle sounds like, when he says Neil, it always
His
sounds
new,
like because he's in Sorry.
His new
sounding.
special
Mhm.
on Netflix,
I haven't
3
watched it
Mics, is
Very
What is it called?
it's certainly
3
Three
Mics.
Oh.
It's up there on my all-time comedy shows because
Dang.
the whole premise of the show is he has 3 microphones on stage, and at each of the microphones he does a different thing. So
Oh, neat.
microphone number 1 is one-liners, and then microphone number 2 is emotional stuff, and
Nice.
then mic 3 is just regular stand-up.
I like that.
And he goes back and forth between them.
That's funny.
So there's jokes,
Right.
and then here's like my hard life. Here's why I'm funny.
Right. And then
Because I struggled with XYZ.
That's crazy. I like that. I will watch that tonight.
It was fantastic.
Very
No, you
good.
won't.
It's very
I will.
Yes, you will.
Yep.
No,
Alexa,
well, he's-
schedule.
Yeah. No, she's gonna schedule something. Alexa, stop. Yeah. My schedule is fucked.
Now we're not
Alright,
listening.
So there's one person missing from this, and I'm hoping that Brooks says his name.
So you got 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Level 4? Okay, so my very first is one of the. Okay, so
Sexual.
I would put Bill Cosby on my list
Oh, you
because
can.
he was the first
Why
stand-up
would you
that I
do
ever
that?
watched. He would have been on my list, but you know all of his stuff
If you
now is
didn't
a
do
lot
the
darker
old
than it
Zippity
used to
Bop.
be. But
Which
the
again, Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle.
the very
Yeah.
next person is Brian Regan.
Okay.
He makes me,
You like the
and
king.
it's someone that you can hand that to anybody
You could.
at any part of their life, and they will laugh at the majority of the stuff he's saying. He's kind of me, a little over the top, a little annoying at times, loud with pops and like immediate things. Yeah. But he's just phenomenal, and that was like when I started to. That's when I started to download stand up on like Aimster and Napster and Livewire. That was with him that was the stuff I began to watch. That's what started and continued. I saw him live last year, and now he's divorced, and he's even funnier than he's ever been, which is terrible. But I saw him on the Fox, and
Yeah, tragedy is the A great motivator for comedy.
Right, and he got me to the point where I literally could not breathe in the theater because it was so funny, and he was hitting on like making fun of people, but making fun of himself. It was just he's perfect in his just very like chill, but not that I'm arrogant, but I love everything about Brian Regan is on my top
Brooks is
list.
super
Period.
arrogant.
After that, I think that there's a very low possibility that Brooks is gonna say the name I have in my head.
I don't know what name you have, but I was gonna say there's a low possibility that he'll say it, whatever it is.
So the next person is the person I just knocked off of my bucket list. The same day I got my bucket from Lollipops. Good day. I got to see Jerry live. Jerry Seinfeld live. He was. It's funny because I noticed that he integrated some of his old stuff into new stuff, and it made the old stuff funny, just like it was, but also in a new way, even though it's the exact same content. But I mean, obviously, Seinfeld's show was almost perfect. Like it was just that's another thing that almost like Scrubs, where you can turn it on and you don't necessarily know what would have to happen in the last episode.
Yeah,
to
at
get
any
what's
point
going
you
on.
can just watch it.
Yep.
Right,
Laugh.
and he was terrible on there at times. Like he was an awful actor, but it was so funny to observe that. The next is like I'm having issues picking because I would put originally I would put Bill Burr on there,
That would be a really solid pick. Right
but he's not like my personality at all, so it's kind of weird. Not that it matters, but
It does not matter.
Dave, I'm fun fact. I'm not a black man.
that doesn't affect personality. That's a little
And also,
racist. So take it
I'm
back.
also,
Take it
you
back.
know-
Just take it back.
You're worse than
But
Assad.
he is bad though, right? We agree. He was on 24, right?
Yeah.
He was one of
Oh
them.
my
He
god.
was on 24. The Russians like him though, so maybe there's some value.
Yeah.
We don't know the full guy.
We can circle back to that in a minute here.
Snowden?
A question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about chemical weapons situation?
It's close.
Is it really?
It's
I'm
close,
fucking
man.
excited.
And now I'm stuck because like Jim Carrey, I think belongs on the list.
Jim Carrey.
That's a
Jim
good
Carrey would
choice.
probably be number 3. Movies, stand up, the whole
General,
combo.
just actor.
Him as a human, I would
Yeah,
want to be
I'm
around
okay with
him.
that,
Yeah, he definitely falls in that category of hanging out with him and just having a beer is a great time.
Right.
You just
And
That's a person
a
having a
controversial
Diet Dr.
pick.
Pepper.
People will never pick this human, and they will scold me to death. It's definitely not who you're thinking of. It's
It
not
is.
at all.
Who
It's
are you
not.
gonna pick?
It's Kevin James.
Oh,
I love Kevin James.
That's not who you were thinking.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely. I told you it's not.
who are you thinking?
All right. So first thing was the fact that all 4 of us went and out of all 4 of us, none of us said Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy is probably a little bit.
It's
of a
because they're
sin.
not funny.
Controversial.
All right.
Unpopular opinion.
If you watch
You
Eddie
know what?
Murphy's
I don't know what the big deal is.
Yeah.
if you watch Eddie Murphy's Raw or the
I
special,
wasn't allowed to watch it.
Yeah.
My parents wouldn't let me watch
That's
it.
not
that's why
surprising.
that's why I said to myself, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I probably shouldn't have pinned all my hopes on Brooks on this one.
Yeah, no, I can't pull either of those dudes.
But if you watch the special that Richard, I forgot the name of it, the one that he did right after the whole incident of him
edit.
accidentally setting himself on fire after trying to smoke crack, and he dedicates
We've all been
15 minutes
Right.
to I fucked up and here's what it was like to be on fire after trying to light myself on fire after smoking crack. Like,
Right.
yeah. But
Well, I've redacted my Kevin James. No offense to Kevin James, but I forgot about Pete Holmes.
there. Yeah,
Pete-
that's kind of
Pete-
what I would.
Pete Holmes
Yeah,
is good.
Pete Holmes. I've seen him
For
live
some
as
reason, I
well.
was hoping
Yeah,
I was hoping that
Show
In the
and
show.
it is awesome. And the cool thing is like when you like somebody, it's like with Xbox. It's like you love the Xbox. You tell everyone it's great. They get the Xbox and like it's not that great. It crashes all the time, that kind of stuff. But now that like his midnight show, I liked it and it was like, man, it's just as good as like Jimmy. And everyone's like, it's not that good. And then they canceled it 2 years in, and then now he has a show on HBO, which it's kind of tough to get there in the first place. But now that it's actually funny and it's his actual story, and I've listened to, no joke, 250 podcasts. I know Pete Holmes as well as I know Maddie.
I was going to suggest, if you haven't, he was on promoting the show. He was on
I already listened to it.
WTF.
I listened to that, and I listened to Joe Rogan.
I thought he had a whole
Yeah.
thing. I did.
And Greg Fitzsimmons writes for Pete Holmes' show. He
Right.
was on Pete Holmes was on Joe Rogan's show too.
Pete is again kind of like Brian Regan. They're very similar. Like Pete Holmes says, I cannot watch anything Regan, or I will just imitate it.
Yep.
But they are very similar. They're like goofy, like youth pastor looking guys, and
Yeah,
they're
that's
precious.
Totally accurate.
And-
totally accurate.
And I love his I like him a lot because that's another person that I wish I could meet, because I know that when he goes to shows, he literally goes out to the crowd to shake hands and hug people.
Yep.
Like hug people.
Totally
That's
true.
part of him,
Yep.
which I love a lot. So definitely Peter Ho-Ho. I know more.
Okay.
Apparently they're on a weird nickname
Yeah,
basis.
well, it's one of the things, but like I love, admire.
So no Kev
it's-
Hart, guys? Top paid,
I mean,
top paid comedian
he's
right now?
hilarious. I
Hart?
peed myself because we
Yeah.
were watching me and other Johnny. No, not that Johnny. No, not that John. Other Johnny. We were watching his show when we were at our friend's house, and then the roommate was sleeping, and we were not allowed to laugh. And that was the most fun when we actually had to like physically leave the apartment because we were gonna just urinate all over the place. So Kev Hart belongs. His show. Half scripted, half unscripted. I love Husbands of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
That's not like for us, but I enjoy
Right.
it.
No, he's good full.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I watch it.
Right. It's
JB's on there.
yeah, JB
Love it.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
All the kids. You got
It's
the
not
deep pulls from my wife
in
and
the
kids.
target audience.
Damon
but
Wayans. Shout out to Damon Wayans. All the Wayans kids, but Damon Wayans specifically.
Mhm.
Love Damon Wayans.
And then I feel like Key and Peele deserve a shout out, but not a spot on any of these lists.
I have not
I think
listened to their stand up, but of course their show is great. But again, on that,
But
it's
they're
they
sti-
perform it well. Of course, they write well as well, but we can't.
yeah, charisma is as much at play there as
Yep,
Right.
correct.
Yeah, it's
anything.
everything else.
You're selling a sketch.
Yep.
It's just
I'm
that you're the only
surprised.
person on stage.
Oh no, I'm not surprised. I guess you would like.
And they were
Eric
funny on Mad
Andre
TV, which is
Brooks.
good. What?
I'm not surprised you like Eric Andre.
Oh, he's great.
Just because he's black.
Well, I mean that's kind of my
I like him. I saw his co-host. What's his name? Hannibal.
Hannibal,
Beers?
oh God, I saw
Hannibal hilarious.
He
Oh,
is.
shit. One of the
Hannibal's-
best deliveries. I saw him in person. I want to say it was 3 years ago.
You saw me. Oh.
At the
that's great.
at the Punchline, back when the Punchline was up
Oh.
in North Atlanta.
Nice.
And talk about one of the most unique and just fantastic deliveries. Trying to tell me where you're at. I'm coming down there when I want to. Don't tell me who I am. I'm going to do my job when I want to. Like
Yeah.
that
He
whole.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man, like
Great.
he's one of the few
Yeah.
people that pushed me to that where you're like, I'm gonna pee myself.
Yep.
I'm gonna pee. He's one of the very few people.
And it's
who
funny
pushed me
because he
that
can
far.
get away with being himself on every acting job that
Totally
he has,
agreed.
and it's fine. He
'Cause
could be a
it's-
cop. He
he's
could be a
so-
friend. He
He's
could
so
be
organically
right.
you know.
Yeah.
You made me
Unless-
think
unless
of
someone-
the
yeah.
jaywalking in Canada bit.
Oh, nice.
Which one?
Hannibal Buress.
Oh yeah.
Jay,
Okay.
He gets the ticket for jaywalking.
Yeah, yes. That whole sketch that he.
just the whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole man.
The whole joke.
God.
Another deep shout out, Tom Segura. Doesn't get a lot of love.
Agreed.
Phenomenal
but should.
stand up, but he doesn't get anything else outside of that stand up. And he's not on many people's list, but get the fuck out of here is his funniest line. It's boring again, just like, no offense. It's
Yeah.
like, it's 4 words, but the way he delivers it,
Yes.
so good. Tom Segura,
5 words.
so great.
It's almost like
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's
Matt joke.
trying to cut it down to 4 people is really tough
Yep.
because you're like
It's like
in-
the basketball. There's,
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. You
Yeah,
can't
'cause-
have just 4 people
Oh
on
no, I
there.
can. Everybody
JJ,
else could
Mike
literally
Dunleavy,
die, and I'd be fine.
Coach
Okay.
K.
I just like my 4.
Coach K's
You're
wife.
good.
Exactly.
but it's like it. There's so God like
Are we comfortable talking about that yet?
What's that?
Basketball? It's been some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't
been
wanna-
enough time.
yeah. I don't know, man.
So
What-
chemical warfare?
Yeah, what are you gonna ask?
Yeah,
So
we just did an upbeat topic. Let's
Super
do it.
I don't know if you
serialist.
Follow the news.
I do.
I'm the
very
only one who
closely.
does.
A little
I have
earlier
Google
to-
now that
yeah,
updates
a little
me,
earlier today.
but I usually get tech.
The White House press secretary.
We love him.
We love him.
Melissa
Love him.
McCarthy?
Yeah,
She
He's
is
actually-
hilarious.
He's actually our
Oh, we
next
didn't have any
guest star.
females on our list. That makes us bad. We're going to get a lot of hate for that.
Well,
on our comedians.
Oh,
It's a list that only has to do with
Amy
comedian.
Poehler.
So she's phenomenal. Tina Fey is on my list of everything.
Yeah.
Think of it, and that's what I want to do with her.
Okay.
Sorry, I love Tina
So
Fey.
chemicals.
Back to the gas.
Let's get back to the chemical weapons.
So the gist of what he said earlier today was that Hitler didn't gas his own people, and so Assad is worse. And generally, it's not a good
Are we
move to say
comparing
someone's worse than
contrasting?
Hitler. So my question to you guys is:
Who is
Assad
worse than
Hitler?
Who's
Go.
worse than Hitler?
Wow.
Oh my god.
Man.
Oh my god.
I'll clue you in. There's a correct answer,
Well, I go with head count.
right?
Purely head count. I go by the numbers.
I mean, 6.5 million
You got-
is like a lot.
you
right?
got Stalin.
I'm sorry, did Sean Spicer have a stroke on?
Well, did he have his puppets?
If you haven't
Did he
seen
show
the
like a puppet of
if you
Hitler
haven't
and
seen
a
the
puppet?
video, go watch the video.
Is
It's
it hilarious?
If he makes it past
He
this
says,
month, he's in.
he says basically, what he's trying to do is justify the airstrike,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Just
says
not the people that
he
live there.
says
He did the thing that
in so
every
many
little
words, he's worse than Hitler, and all of the reporters go,
Yes.
they're.
He
and
did-
then they
he
start
did the-
pressing him like,
the
"Is that what you
teenager-
really meant?" And he kind of was like, "Yeah, pretty much."
He did like that teenagers thing where you tell a lie, but you go to like the immediate extreme that
Yeah.
no one's ever gonna believe. It's like, why were you ditching?
Worse than Hitler.
Well, the teacher raped me, and everybody's like,
The teacher's going.
The teacher is worse than Hitler.
yeah.
How did he get this job? How did he get this job?
Because
Because he's
wants it.
controversial. He's the new
Oh
Carlin.
my
He's
God.
probably the only person that said yes to it.
I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest. You're
Jesus
probably correct.
You want it?
I feel like if I did
Tell
that,
them
I would
everything's
be
okay.
on the top 4 of many people's favorite comedian lists. If
Yeah.
I was the
Nice.
press secretary.
He's funny, but not
Yeah,
like
it
on
sucks we
purpose.
didn't have anything
Yeah.
else. It's gonna get some
Yeah, he
trouble.
did. I saw. I was reading that this morning.
Yeah,
He's,
I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things where
You can't.
things aren't
At
worse
least
than the
Hitler.
Holocaust.
You can't say at
Not
least
yet.
Hitler did an XYZ and,
Yeah.
and think it's okay.
So what was his number?
Whose?
Hitler.
It's
Over.
6.5 million, right?
And then what was Stalin's?
I'm gonna sound terrible if that's not right, but I think
Stalin was about.
I think it was
around-
more than 6 million.
I thought it was 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stalin. Goddamn. Yeah.
He literally he almost wiped out a whole ethnicity of people.
That's correct.
The what was it? Chechens.
Mhm.
And everybody from that plateau, he kind of.
Yep.
fucked.
Basically the entire Caucasus region got.
Really, more than anything else, I just wanted to bring up that absurd
Right.
topic, and I wanted
Yeah.
Brooks to tackle politics.
He's good at it.
I do my very
The
best.
thing is he actually is. He doesn't think he is.
No,
he knows he's
okay.
not.
Yeah.
He always gives himself shit about various
Yeah.
things when he's actually probably not too bad.
I'm tall.
And then he's like, it's shitty though because I have bad circulation in my legs.
No, I don't have bad circulation, but I roll them
See,
frequently.
yeah,
we
gotta
go.
qualify.
But that's
everything.
just the facts. Can't argue facts.
Yeah,
And you can't argue that Assad's not forcing.
I just
Well, I mean, okay, let's go on the scale. Where does he fit on the scale? How close to Hitler is he?
I want to say Assad is like
Assad?
barely
Well, yeah,
breaking,
not
barely
that
breaking a
close.
million.
Yeah,
Barely.
not that close.
So
I
who's
mean,
who's
look, not
who's
the-
right above him? This is a weird game.
I want to say too. Also, Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, see, this is
fucking
a
Trail of
lose-lose
Tears.
game.
yes,
because-
yeah. This
You
is
remember how when we were doing our Mount Rushmores of comedy, and then you forgot someone, and you're like, "Oh, I wish I could have." Well, when you're ranking how terrible people are, and then you forget someone, there's a little more at stake.
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's like no matter what you answer, it's basically what you're saying.
Well,
you
they
know, that person's
on that
not
list,
that bad.
we still have to have a
but
female.
you're talking about Pol Pot. I mean, he's one of the worst people of all time. Yeah, but he's not as bad as Assad. No.
If you want to rank bad people, knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'm
Vader
Let's do Vader.
is simply on the
Vader,
list.
Hitler.
I'm not touching any of this.
Can't wait to see your comments.
the dude from Indiana Jones that rips out hearts.
Lima.
Takes all the children.
Sharon. And then number 4 would be the bad guy
Hey.
from a Disney movie.
Hey,
Oh,
quick
there
question.
are a lot of bad
Quick
guys.
question
from
on the
Disney
same
movies.
topic.
Probably Ursula.
Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Maybe, well, Maleficent ended up being the good. I didn't like how they twisted that story.
Don't fucking talk to me about Maleficent.
Oh,
Go,
the big
Chris.
white guy on Pocahontas shooting up all the engines.
Oh, what was his name?
Percy? No, something
That was
similar.
wrong.
Yeah, Precious Pug. Precious. Shout out to
No, but I know, like, the thing is,
Brooks-
I know what he's talking about.
I'm so glad.
Brooks is out of control.
I'm so glad the camera's broken because
Like,
he is breaking the green screen. What is so fucking funny?
Chris and John's face like, is he gonna get away with it? Is he gonna get away with it? No one knows it. Oh, it's great. It's phenomenal.
Go, Chris.
We're talking about Percy and pugs.
No.
Do you know they're Chinese? What?
Wow. What the fuck is happening? Oh my fucking god. Oh my
Who gave
Yeah.
Who gave Brooks what?
Yeah, I
Who
did
did
know
it?
that,
Oh,
but he didn't have to say it.
Dude.
Hey, fun fact!
The
we
fucking-
have many a red face.
Jesus.
Hell, man.
my
The fucking
God.
internet police is gonna kick down the door.
As well they should.
Third doorbell.
Jesus Christ. Seriously.
Oh,
One good food delivered, one bad food delivered. Brooks is getting
oh,
arrested.
man.
You're not
Jesus
wrong. You're just an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. You're not wrong. You're just a son of a bitch.
Oh, man. Well, that
That
was a
was-
bunch of jerks and output our input. If you have a favorite 4, let us know, Ben and or Jenny
Yeah, I
and
need
or
I wanna
anyone
know
else.
Everybody's favorite 4.
I would like to know. Maybe John's on your list that you can't see, cameraman, because
Oh.
the camera's off.
Nani is on your list.
Well, on a list.
Well, I can tell you this much. I can tell you this much. I have no
More like a
understanding.
registry.
He's on Schindler's List.
No spoilers. Oh shit. I'll tell you this much. Chris's stand-up page is on fire recently, and I haven't posted a single goddamn thing in 3 years on that page.
Hot fire.
And yet it's on fire.
Love.
Like every single day I'm on Facebook app and it's like 10 new people and 1 new like on your stand-up promotional
Can you
page.
pull them to our page,
Yeah,
please?
can
Can you do
ship that
any
out?
work?
I'm thinking that it's going that way. It's
And
not
then
going
you're
this
gonna
way.
call him, Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Anyways, this has been unintentionally racist and slightly intentionally racist.
No,
Oh,
yeah, it was
100% intentional.
No!
Brooks' sound of minds.
Oh, he had it in the chamber for several minutes.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Never
did.
gonna talk about
Hugs.
Gonna fucking
Never
blind
gonna talk
side.
about Chinese.
He had it sitting there, premeditated. There's gonna be a hate crime proceeding, and they're gonna
That's like 10 more years.
you can clearly see this was premeditated.
For
Anyways,
sure. Well, thank you for your time, and
love you, mean it.
yeah, tell us how you love us. Bye.
Bye. Tell us how you love us.
Please tell me you love me.
Oh, good times had by all.
Fucking broke himself.
Oh man, I almost lost it.